Chapter 26. Are you a good mixer? Charm of personality is a rare gift that can sway even the strongest characters and at times influence the destinies of nations. The art of the salesperson is much like that of the orator. Both seek to win the mind, touch the emotions, and move the heart. Personal magnetism in a man corresponds to charm in a woman. An attractive, pleasing personality creates a powerful first impression. Getting what you want from kings or statesmen, said Blowitz, is largely a matter of dining with the right people. Through the power of his charming presence and gracious manner, this famous journalist accomplished more at the dinner table, in the drawing room, or in the ballroom than any other newspaper writer in Europe achieved through introductions, influence, or special favors. His popularity, his ability to interest and delight others, was his greatest asset. Charles Schwab's talent for making friends, his strong social skills, his gift for entertaining and making himself agreeable, played a major role in his rapid rise from a dollar-a-day job to millionaire steel manufacturer. It was these very qualities that first attracted Mr. Carnegie to him. During the Homestead troubles, according to reports, young Schwab would cheer Mr. Carnegie with humorous stories and Scottish ballads, and the Iron Master was always in better spirits after a visit from the young man. There is nothing more universally valued in social life or business than the ability to attract and please. A magnetic personality often commands a far higher salary than great ability paired with a disagreeable manner. I have in mind a young business person with such a captivating presence and such power to interest and please that many firms in this country would pay an extraordinary salary for his services. We all prefer to do business with people who attract us. If we were to analyze the most successful salespeople in this country, we would find that they possess strong magnetic personalities. They are excellent mixers. They understand human nature. They are usually broad-minded, generous, and magnanimous. Diamond Jim Brady, christened James Buchanan, was a striking example of the ultimate salesperson. He rose to the position of selling rolling stock and supplies to railroads, and occasionally brokered the sale of entire railroads, earning enormous fees. He was perhaps the embodiment of personality, and as a mixer, he had no equal. His name became synonymous with good fellow, and his list of acquaintances was said to rival that of any man in New York. There is something about personality that escapes the photographer that the painter cannot capture and the sculptor cannot carve. This subtle quality which everyone senses but no one can fully describe, and which no biographer can adequately record, has much to do with success in life. It is this indescribable force, possessed in remarkable degree by certain individuals, that once sent audiences into rapturous applause at the mere mention of names like Lincoln or Blaine. It created an atmosphere around Henry Clay that made him the idol of his supporters. Although Calhoun may have been the greater intellect, he never stirred such enthusiasm as the mill boy of the slashes. Webster and Sumner were great men, yet they did not evoke the spontaneous excitement inspired by figures like Blaine and Clay. A historian remarked of Kossuth that, in measuring his influence over the masses, we must first reckon with the orator's physical presence and then measure the reach of his atmosphere. If our perception were fine enough, we could measure not only intellect but this personal atmosphere, and more accurately predict the future of classmates and young acquaintances. We are often misled because we judge only ability and overlook this magnetic force as part of one's capital for success. Yet this personal atmosphere can contribute as much to advancement as education or brainpower. We frequently see individuals of moderate ability but impressive presence promoted over those far superior intellectually. Walt Whitman used to say that a person is not confined between hat and boots. Science has since confirmed that our influence extends beyond our physical bodies. It is not merely appearance, dress, beauty, or education that creates that mysterious atmosphere of personality which draws people in or drives them away, but what we truly are. If you are withdrawn, if you prefer always to be alone reading, even for self-improvement, if you seek a seat by yourself when traveling, if you shrink from conversation in hotels or on the road, if people irritate rather than interest you, you will never become a great salesperson. You must be a good mixer, a good fellow in the best sense. You must be popular because of your genuine human qualities, or you will lack that drawing power which inspires confidence and attracts business. However capable he may be, the aloof person is rarely magnetic. Instead of drawing people in, he keeps them at a distance. I know of a salesperson of this type who, for lack of this drawing quality, is performing poorly. Though honorable and upright, he has never learned to be a mixer, to greet people with warmth and good cheer. When he checks into a hotel, even one he has visited many times, he nods briefly to the clerk, collects his key, and retires immediately. He loves books and is studious, but avoids social contact whenever possible. Other traveling salespeople dislike him. His distant, overly formal manner repels them. In short, his exclusiveness and lack of magnetism have largely undermined his effectiveness. Warm human qualities are essential to good salesmanship. You cannot sell successfully through technique alone, however polished. You must create a sympathetic, almost wireless connection with a prospect's mind by conveying that you are not only competent, but genuinely interested in serving them. Some salespeople show no more real sympathy for a prospect than for an inanimate object. Their voices carry no warmth, no authentic human feeling, like a recording repeating a memorized pitch. Their firms might as well send machines in their place. They may retain existing customers who trust the company's reputation, but they lack the power to attract new ones. No factor plays a larger role in business, social, or professional success than personality. It profoundly shapes our dealings with others. For the salesperson, it is a priceless asset. It makes all the difference whether one is sociable, magnetic, cheerful, and agreeable, or irritable and antagonistic. It is not always the person of greatest intellect who becomes the greatest salesperson. One may possess extraordinary mental power and yet fail utterly in sales. A pleasing personality is a tremendous advantage. When logic fails, when argument is exhausted, when persistence gives up and influence has done its best, personal magnetism can quietly succeed. That subtle force often accomplishes what effort alone cannot. It matters greatly whether you approach a prospect with warmth and enthusiasm, creating a positive first impression, or with cold indifference that must be overcome by lengthy arguments. The personal element often explains the difference between the highly paid salesperson and the poorly paid one. The latter may work harder and know more technique, yet without warm, sociable qualities, effort is largely neutralized. I know a man whose personality alone attracts business on a grand scale. People gravitate toward him as if drawn by a magnet. He does not need forceful appeals, his presence speaks for him. Phillips Brooks possessed such magnetism. Strangers passing him on the street sensed his power. In his presence, few could resist the pull of his character. When he sought funds for charitable causes, he did not need to plead. He simply stated the need and support followed. People believed in him because of his character and the magnetism of his personality. Emerson wrote, "What you are speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." We cannot conceal who we are. Our atmosphere, warm or cold, inviting or repellent, radiates from our dominant traits. A selfish, cold, greedy person cannot project warmth. Our atmosphere reflects our character. If selfishness and indifference dominate, they will be felt and instinctively resisted. The qualities that attract are generous and outward-looking. The qualities that repel are self-centered and grasping. Those lacking magnetism often think too much about themselves and too little about others. They give little and seek much. Naturally magnetic individuals typically possess traits we admire: generosity, magnanimity, cordiality, broad sympathies, helpfulness, optimism. Every one of these can be cultivated. By strengthening them, a salesperson gains opportunities where others are turned away with "no time today, too busy." Many honorable young political candidates fail not from corruption or lack of merit, but because they do not know how to make themselves popular. Inferior rivals often win simply because they are better mixers. In every industry, there is strong demand for representatives who can interest, attract, and retain customers. Whatever your profession, your reputation and success will depend largely on the impression you create. It is essential for both men and women to develop a forceful, magnetic personality. This is not as difficult as it may seem. Anyone can cultivate the qualities that attract and reduce those that repel. By nurturing generosity, cheerfulness, helpfulness, and goodwill, and diminishing their opposites, we become more interested in others, and they in us. Gradually, we become more welcome, more sought after, more influential. If you cultivate in yourself the qualities you most admire in others, you will become attractive in turn. Education is valuable, but we often overestimate its role. Our personal atmosphere may have more influence on our advancement than our formal training. The first step toward magnetism is robust health. Physical vitality combined with an optimistic, cheerful outlook greatly enhances personal presence. Strong health radiates energy and courage, while lack of vitality drains others. A lively step, bright eyes, and buoyant spirit provide a real advantage. To be magnetic, you must approach life positively. Pessimism, selfishness, irritability, and lack of enthusiasm destroy magnetism. A hopeful, large-hearted person naturally attracts others. Above all, cultivate the qualities of the heart. Intellect alone does not create magnetism. It is warmth and sincerity that draw people. Avoid stiff, mechanical greetings. Adapt yourself to others. Look people in the eye. Offer a sincere handshake and a kind word that leaves a lasting impression. If you would be popular, practice cordiality. Open your heart generously rather than cautiously rationing goodwill. Do not be afraid of warmth. A genuine greeting creates instant goodwill. Some handshakes feel lifeless and calculating, as though the giver is silently asking what advantage may be gained. Such coldness repels. Make cordiality a habit. It will transform your social influence and reveal qualities you did not know you possessed. By cultivating a magnetic personality, you will increase your results, reduce your strain, and enjoy life more fully. Remember, customers are drawn, not pushed. In modern business, success is largely a matter of attraction. The most magnetic, approachable, and genuinely sociable salesperson will win the greatest number of orders. Chapter 27. Character is capital. Character is greater than any career. Manhood surpasses all titles. Character is the greatest power in the world. Nothing can replace it, not talent, not genius, not education, not training. A reputation for being absolutely fair and upright, for being a person whose word is as binding as a contract, is the finest recommendation anyone can have. Simple authenticity and transparency of character win a customer's confidence, whether that customer begins as skeptical or not, and confidence is half the sale. However polished a salesperson's speech or manner, if he is not genuine, if he does not ring true, if he fails to inspire trust, if the customer senses something questionable behind his smile, he is unlikely to make the sale. Lack of integrity often keeps salespeople in lower positions. Consider the average salesperson in a clothing store. A customer tries on a coat. "How does it look?" he asks, pleased. "Perfect. Excellent," replies the salesperson. Then the customer tries on a completely different style. If he seems to like it, the salesperson agrees again. This, too, is exactly the right choice. Soon the customer realizes that the advice is worthless. The salesperson is not offering honest feedback about how the garment fits or looks. He is focused solely on closing the sale. Once the customer sees this, he is likely to leave and buy elsewhere, from someone who will tell him the truth. Sincerity and transparency carry great weight. Imagine what it means to have everyone trust you, to have all who have dealt with you say, "There is someone perfectly straight and clean. No evasiveness, no manipulation, no hidden agenda. You can rely completely on their word." Such a person has nothing to conceal, no need to remember past deceptions, no fear of contradiction. Honesty requires no defense. Transparent character needs no guard. We all know the comfort of doing business with such a person, someone who cannot be bought, who would be offended by the suggestion that money or influence could sway them from what is right. Is there anything nobler than the individual who stands firm, who values reputation above wealth or position, and who would rather be right than powerful? The salesperson who earns a reputation for never misrepresenting, never deceiving, never pressuring unfairly, who refuses to sell what is unsuitable or unnecessary, who does not hide defects or unload outdated goods, is a treasure to both employer and customer. How much easier it is to live honestly than to constantly guard one's words for fear of exposing a previous lie. It is simpler and far better to be truthful than to manage a web of inconsistencies. No training, bluffing, or clever tricks can replace genuine character. A perceptive prospect, most business people are, can quickly tell whether your interest is sincere or feigned. They can distinguish real gold from counterfeit. If your character is authentic, you will build a relationship of trust that is invaluable. A wise salesperson recognizes that many prospects have been disappointed or deceived before. A person once misled is cautious. Customers may have purchased inferior goods or trusted broken promises. They may initially view every salesperson as a potential manipulator. Experience teaches that dishonest practices always return to harm the firm. It is only a matter of time. Every misrepresentation eventually costs dearly. Remember that every sale you make is an advertisement. It advertises your firm's character and policy. Through you, customers judge whether your company is fair and dependable or cunning and unreliable. They will quickly sense whether they can trust your word or must guard themselves at every step. A company is judged by the people it employs. The best salespeople today study not only their products, but also their customers and their needs. Many customers regard such individuals as trusted advisors. They know they will receive fair treatment and be offered only what genuinely benefits them. After earning trust, it might be easy to exploit it by selling more than the customer needs. But modern business sense rejects the old practice of squeezing every possible dollar from each opportunity. That short-sighted method, overloading customers with goods at the highest price possible, is obsolete. Chapter 28. The Price of Mastership. 3 things are necessary. First, backbone. Second, backbone. Third, backbone. Charles Sumner. When others are ready to give up, we are just getting our second wind, is the motto of a New York firm. A fine one for anyone seeking success. Ships sail west and ships sail east by the very same winds that blow. It is the set of the sails and not the gales that determines where they go. Elbert Hubbard once remarked that there are 2 kinds of wrecks in the world: those who have nothing that society wants and those who do not know how to present what they have. Success in sales requires visibility and energy. Put your goods in the front window and work tirelessly. Hard work and determination open the door to success. 2 college students began selling the same book. After several weeks, one wrote to headquarters explaining his poor results. The weather had been bad, people complained of hard times, money was scarce. He was discouraged and saw no option but to quit. The other student, working in similar territory, reported a banner week with commissions exceeding $80. Despite bad weather and economic uncertainty, he overcame objections with enthusiasm. He made prospects feel that missing the book would be a serious loss, that it was worth far more than its price. He sold to 8 out of 10 people he approached. A traveling salesperson once claimed his Western territory was exhausted. Orders were shrinking, and he insisted there was no potential left. His manager replaced him with a young, energetic newcomer who more than doubled the previous record on his first trip. The territory was not exhausted, the salesperson was. The older representative preferred comfort to effort. He avoided small towns and inconvenient travel. He relaxed in hotel lobbies instead of seeking new customers. His successor saw opportunity everywhere because he brought energy and initiative. At an agricultural convention, an old farmer was asked about the best slope of land for fruit trees. He replied that the slope of the land mattered less than the slope of the farmer. So it is in business. The decisive factor is the drive of the person behind the work. You may master every technical rule of salesmanship, but without grit, without perseverance, discipline, determination, you will never excel. With these qualities, you can overcome serious disadvantages. I once knew a physically unimpressive salesperson who, through sheer determination, secured orders where others failed. He said grit was his only capital. Aware of his disadvantages, he resolved to overcome them, and did. Only the weak blame luck, favoritism, or connections. Success is shaped by our own effort. Many people wish for high-paying positions, but few are willing to do the work required to earn and maintain them. What many truly want is reward without effort. There is no shortcut to meaningful success. Growth comes through disciplined self-development. No external system can develop character or skill for you. Abraham Lincoln advised young people to improve themselves continually, never assuming others wish to hold them back. Hudson Maxim emphasized 2 principles. Earn everything you receive and never assume the world owes you a living. Opportunity may be offered, but achievement must be earned. If you can do one thing exceptionally well, even something humble, you will be in demand. Across every profession, those who achieve distinction agree on 2 essentials: work and grit. Thomas Pryor Gore, blind from childhood yet later a United States Senator, credited fixed purpose and unwavering determination. The power of the human will can overcome immense obstacles. History offers powerful examples. Milton composing his epic while blind, Beethoven creating masterpieces while deaf. Great achievement demands relentless perseverance. Columbus said that holding on just 3 days longer revealed the new world. Persistence beyond the point where others quit often makes the difference. Tenacity defines those who accomplish great things. They may have weaknesses, but persistence never fails them. Hardship does not deter them. More people have risen through grit than through money. Determination has overcome poverty and illness alike. Without grit, the driving force, talent accomplishes little. For the person without resolve, every setback is final. For the determined, failure is temporary. They rise each time with renewed purpose. Have you ever seen someone who simply would not quit? Obstacles could not defeat them. Words like impossible held no meaning. Such individuals are conquerors. Those enjoying success did not reach it through envy or ease. They worked for it. There is no easy road to Easy Street. There is no royal road to success. Hard, intelligent, honest work remains the path. The business world constantly seeks those who can improve processes, deliver results, think clearly, and act thoroughly. As commerce expands, demand grows for capable, well-trained professionals. Those who add broader knowledge and skill to their foundation increase their opportunities. The shaping of your life rests in your own hands. Success is available to all willing to pay the price. In the end, mastery in sales or in any field is simply a matter of paying that price. Thank you for watching until the end. If you want to go deep down into the rabbit hole of marketing and persuasion, click the link in the description where you will find many fundamental books about copywriting, psychology, and persuasion. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. See you in the next one.